Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Okay, so I know you're thinking, Nicholas, why are you posting a video on YouTube again during the middle of the week? I'm gonna send you to the principal's office again. Jeez, man, why are you doing this? Bro, this is after school. I'm posting this video at 7. Well, I'm filming it at 7. I don't know when it's gonna post, but, basically, I actually get to film a video today. Like those two videos I posted yesterday, the Godzilla vs. Kong review and the March non-release video, I only posted those because I had to. If I missed out on it, then it would, I felt I wouldn't be normal with myself. But this video, I also wouldn't be normal with myself, so technically I'm not normal anymore. Well, no one's normal. Anyways. But the reason why I'm posting a video today is because I actually can, because tomorrow I actually have no school. Which, March 19th, I didn't have any school because it was technically the start of spring break, and it was also a teacher planning day, and I was like, we just came back from spring break, so why are you giving us a day off again? And then I realized, oh, it's Good Friday tomorrow, which we'll have a video related to that. But anyways, we're talking about, this topic that we're talking about today. So, if you guys do not know, yesterday was March 31st, which means it's the last day of March, which means I did not get this video done on time. And that means today, I'm gonna give you my ranking of all the movies that I saw in March of 2021. And just to let you know, I haven't seen many. I only saw 5. And there wasn't really any specific reason. I just, I was gonna see Bad Trip, but that didn't end up happening because I thought of my family first, and yeah. And really, Raya and Last Dragon was really the only film that I saw in theaters this month, until probably Black Widow or something. Maybe even Spirit Untamed, because I've been preparing for the DreamWorks series. Like, that's the first series I've started with this year. But yeah, let's get started with this ranking of 2021 movies. March 2021 movies. Now, yesterday, I was actually kind of excited for when I heard when I was gonna watch it, when I saw my schedule of what films I needed to watch March 12th, the weekend of March 12th, I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this seems like a pretty cool idea for when there's just a day. Like the trailer pretty much gave a good premise of what I want, of what I'm expecting from this film, about this family where the parents always say no, and the family has 24 hours where the parents say yes to everything that the kids want to do, which basically means they have 24 hours, which basically means that the kids have 24 hours to do whatever they want. And that's pretty much it. But I was excited for this film because of the premise, and they just kind of failed at it. Like I said, the premise is pretty good, but they just handle it very poorly. And they make all of these jokes of all these weird things. Now, for the first couple of minutes, I was actually kind of connecting with it, as, you know, the parents always say no to everything they do, which kind of reminds me of my parents. And, you know, it does make some poop jokes about it going out the other end. I don't really like that. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know what I feel about that. I don't know. But then as like the relationship between the daughter and the mother, which was actually in 13 going on 30, like their relationship together was just not very good. And like, and then the kids like do all these things that are part of the list, and you don't really and you kind of forget that that it's part of the list. And then like the mom goes crazy over a bear that she wanted fair and square, and it's like, what type of film is this? And then you also have like these foam parties that, and like the house just gets messed up, and so there's just it's a weird mix of a bunch of different things that I don't think really worked that well. And it also, the soundtrack in this film was very weird in this film. It literally played, at the end, it played the song where it was like, I just wanna shout, where the sun when it comes up, when the city and the rooftops. That song. It was just a weird soundtrack to play, and this is one of my least favorite films of the year. I'm sorry, the girl that plays 13 going on 30, I'm sorry, but you did not, please me with this film. Now, just to be clear, every single film up to from 4 to number 1, all of those other movies I actually really like. So, because March was actually a pretty good month for movies. Now, Godzilla vs. Kong basically gives you everything you want. It has most of the monster action that you want, whether you're talking about that scene you've seen in the trailers where Godzilla is under the water and the people are shooting at him. That's a fantastic sequence. But I think the best sequence of the entire film with Godzilla and Kong is really just the night sequence. Now, I've said in my review that I didn't like the way the CGI worked. I rewatched it today, like that scene, and I actually really liked that scene. It was just a fantastic scene where it was just so well shot, and the action in it was just so good. Godzilla is like ripping King Kong apart, and it's like you actually feel the emotion for King Kong. Speaking of King Kong, you also get a little bit of a story with him, and I actually like how he was more the main character in this film, and I liked how he had the relationship with the little girl, and some of the human characters were actually some pretty nice additions. I actually did like how they connected with the story. The reason why it's a bit lower on this list is because it's technically the only film on this list that I actually gave a B+ or a B to, or any type of B for that matter. I don't really think the way the characters were organized, where you had the podcast guy, and then basically like the government guy, the government group, it didn't really make sense of why all these people are all in different groups tracking down Godzilla and Kong. It didn't really make sense. And really, like I said in my review, I said that the story was very straightforward, but in this film, obviously the story is about that they take King Kong out of Skull Island so that way they can basically use him to defend the world from Godzilla from attacking people because they don't know why. But they don't really use him. Like, they literally just have him chained up, and they just talk for a little bit about King Kong and Godzilla, and then when Godzilla shows up, he's like free and like he fights, and it's like, what the heck is this? Those are just a couple of problems I have with the film, but this is still a very good movie. Probably a movie that my family are gonna watch, since we're probably gonna watch it tomorrow night, since they're a little bit mad about that because I watched it without them. But they just did not announce when they want to watch it. That's just a thing. So yeah, so I actually had a really good time with this film. But yeah, so every other movie on this list, 3 to 1, are all A movies. A-, A+, A, any type of A, you get everything good. That is the list right there. Now, I know that this film has not the best track record of fans right now, because I know there's a bunch of you that love the original Coming to America. And I like the film. I'm not hating on it or anything like that. I do like it. But the reason why I love this movie so much more is because the way they took the nostalgia of the original film and put it into this movie, it's just fantastic. When they introduce you to Zamunda again, you literally get into this world once again, where you have an older Akeem and an older Lisa, and they now have a McDowell's at Zamunda, and like they make this little joke about burgers like having no animal meat in it. It's just plain out grass, and it's just a funny little moment. And then like it kind of does pull out some characters, some stuff with Akeem and having three daughters, and likewise, much like the original film where they did the music much like classic African music, this film doesn't really do that. And that, granted, it does have the classic dancing African performances, but it does do like new 21st century pop songs, and it's just fantastic to see that. And well, I mean, not see that, more like hear that, but also see that, because people do perform when James Earl Jones is dying. And then bringing Akeem's son into the mix is a pretty cool storyline. It does. Now, this film can copy some storylines of the original film, except in a different way. Seeing Wesley Snipes as this character is just over the top. It's basically just sort of like a very entertaining film. And also, Akeem's other wife is just a very funny actor, which she was like, "Hey, Quine, I'm sorry I slept with your man." Like, that was like the funniest line I've ever heard. And then, of course, the funniest line of the whole film is when one of the barbers is like, "I want a woman so black, when you make love at night, you need a flashlight." Like, that is the best line I've ever heard from one of these barbers, because they are just so funny. And like, this movie's just laugh out loud. And I know the story, some of the characters, and some of the story stuff is not perfect, but it just handles nostalgia, music, a bunch of different stuff very well, and it's also just one of the most entertaining films of this entire year. So that's kind of what holds it back. I'm kind of giving it a C or a B plus for me. So that's kind of why I put it as an A minus. But still, while it has flaws, it's still a very entertaining film for me. Now, this was a movie that I was a little bit skeptical for when they announced it. I was like, I get it that this is Zack Snyder's completed version, and he didn't have time to release it because of his daughter dying. But it didn't really make sense because the trailers did not really do much for me to get excited for it more. It seemed like something that I wasn't really gonna like, but I just fell in love with it. And it just made me like, it was just a film that kind of made me like the DCEU more. Where, everything in this film is pretty much better than the original film. They give characters like Flash and Cyborg a better meaning, where Cyborg has a great relationship with his dad, he has a great backstory, and really at the end when his father is giving that little speech at the end, it's just a great scene. And then Flash, of course, Cyborg is definitely the best character of the whole film. Like the most improved character of the original, according to the original Justice League. But Flash has some motivation where you actually kind of feel for him, you feel some emotion for him, and when he goes back in time, it's just a fantastic moment, and I'm glad that that's how it sets up the Flash movie for him. And then, Superman, on the other hand, is another character that I loved, and I actually love him more in this film, because while he does have a fantastic arc, he also has some more fantastic hero moments. Because like in the original film of Justice League, he does have that amazing moment where he basically beats the crap out of Steppenwolf, and he's helping Aquaman and Wonder Woman take him down. But in this film, he does a lot more than that. Instead of Steppenwolf basically ripping Cyborg apart, he literally blocks Cyborg with his shoulder, breaks Steppenwolf's axe, and then kicks him to the wall. And then and of course, some of the other shots are basically from the other movie, but it's a bit different because this movie is very different from the original film. But then he starts lasering his eye, and then he starts lasering his horn, and he's punching him and punching him and punching him, and it's like, this is so violent, especially for a rated R movie. So I love what they did with Superman, and then Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. I would say that they are pretty improved characters from the original film. I like their dynamics within the team, but to be honest, I don't really think they did anything new to kind of make me like them more. Wonder Woman was probably another improved character, and Aquaman, but Batman, he was pretty improved. I like the way that he did the action, especially when he came out of his Batmobile. He came out in the car, and he was blowing up the aliens. It was pretty cool. And they gave Steppenwolf actual meaning, you cared about him. And it's he wants to please Darkseid. He really does. And you can kind of care about him a little bit. Also, the score to this movie is fantastic. Whether you're talking about when the Justice League is actually fighting Steppenwolf, or when Wonder Woman is on screen, every time a character appears on screen, it is fantastic to see all of the music scores coming up. When Wonder Woman appears on the screen, it plays the Wonder Woman score. When they play the Aquaman, when they introduce Aquaman, they don't play the I mean, I like that, but they don't do it in this movie to make it a fun film. I mean, it is fun, but it's more of a serious film. Now, to undercut all that, I can say this. There are a couple shots that I do miss from the original film that I wish that was in this movie. And, it's pretty long, and I don't think there are some. I don't feel like that. I feel like they were jumping from plotline to plotline, from story to story. There's a lot more problems than that, but just go check out my review and you'll find out the other thoughts I had on Zack Snyder's Justice League. But overall, this is a fantastic movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to show this to my family because, I don't even know if they're going to see it, if my family wants to see it, but this is a movie that I definitely want my family to check out. So, yeah. Even though I don't recommend movies, this is a movie I want them to see. Now, for me, when I first saw the trailers for this movie, I'm not saying I hated them, but I just had my water bottle right there. This one right here. I didn't hate the trailers or anything. I didn't think that this film was gonna be. I didn't think that this film was gonna be amazing. Because from what the trailers expressed, it seemed like it was gonna tease something. It seemed like it was gonna tease something something so creative that Disney has ever made. And then I saw the movie. I'm not really sure if I got that. And then when I saw the movie, I absolutely fell in love with it. Really, just the way the story is crafted into this film is very creative. It's really basically Game of Thrones for kids, except without the violence and stuff. That's basically what people have been saying. And, it really has some very good themes of working together. Friendship, and really trusting each other, trusting one another. It has great themes of that. And our main character, Raya, is also really good because while she is a very fast detective and stuff, and she's been looking for the Sisu gem for 6 years, she has character flaws, She's obviously not the best character. She's been through a lot. She literally got her back. She literally got her back kicked. It's like she's been through a lot since her ma has got stoned. And also, I just thought that the way the characters were made, the way they were done in this film, I just thought they were really good. And they're likable characters, and it's kind of like Avengers Endgame, where they go through 6 years of living through with no family, no stuff, and yeah, so this is a great film. And of course, you gotta talk about the animation and the action sequences. I love the action in this film. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more action, but, you know, the action that we got was absolutely fantastic, and especially that scene where that second fight with Namari, that not the third act, the one that's in the second act, where Namari and Raya are fighting, and it's very brutal. Like, there's hard punches, I think you hear glass breaking, and then, like, it's just very violent. But it's still for kids. Okay, so when it comes to the issues, when in my review, I said that I gave it an A, like a normal A. I think I'm gonna change this to an A- because I do have a couple of issues now. The Baby Noi character, I haven't really, as I've seen the trailers, it seemed like she was gonna be like this very fun character, and that's kind of one of the things I actually liked about I wanted to see in My Last Dragon, is I wanted to see this world come to life. I wanted to see something so creative from Disney and really kind of explore something very creative and new, like a baby that has superpowers or something like that. And like, I thought it was gonna be something bigger than that, but it wasn't. She's actually a normal baby, and that's really what we got. And also the Sisu character, sometimes I liked her in this movie, but sometimes I don't think that her role in the movie, I don't think she should have been the main character. I feel like she fits more as a side character in sometimes. And also, there are some things, like I said, from the trailers with Raya and Sisu working together, it seemed like that they were going to get in the action all the time. And like I said, I thought there was going to be a lot more action sequences. But maybe that's just me wanting more. So that's kind of what puts it on the down low. And when you get to the end, it's pretty predictable of how the movie ends. So that's the stuff I didn't like. But still, this is a fantastic movie. It's my favorite film of the year by far, and it's still one of my favorite movies of this year. So for me, it comes in at number 1 as my favorite movie of March 2021. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram name is Marvel6. My TikTok name is Marvel1Fan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my about section to find out those names and follow me on those social medias. I'll also be editing some Letterboxd stuff. Like when I did my Godzilla vs. Kong review, I said that I would be just doing lists of movies that I have seen and haven't seen. I'm fixing that. I'm just doing everything that I've done on YouTube onto there. So yeah. So just go check out my Letterboxd, which is Marvel6, the same thing as my Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.